living with my wife, it was hard for me to find that balance of like, okay, now we're going to have sex because everything blends together. So it's kind of like, okay, if I'm having sex over here and then I'm kind of like trying to find that place at home and stuff like this. So there was a balancing reenactment that had to happen. I had to figure that out. And it was probably one of the toughest things till we got to the point where there was that fine balance of like, okay, cool. Like I can, put my sexual energy into my wife, instead of like pop, 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 pop. It's a lot easier to be like that guy who's just like, the stunt cock who comes in and pleasures women compared to being at home. So there, I mean, I don't know if you've realized that or if you've
Oh yeah, yeah,
experienced that.
yeah.
So that's another form of evolution. Like how do you figure this out? And the only way you're going to figure it out is if you put the energy into it and you say, how am I going to do this? What are some of the things that I can experiment with, that I can explore, to get me to that level where I find that balance?
Well, it's interesting because your sexuality always changes. So, I mean, like I said, when Maria and I first got together, it was like twice a day, every day for probably like a year and a half and into her pregnancy. But as her pregnancy changed, I mean, I don't know if it's me rubbing off on her hormones or whatever, but she actually slowed down, which isn't always the case. And so when that dip happened, it's unnatural for both of us, and it was weird. The worst thing anybody can do about their sexuality is think that there's something wrong with them or different, because we both do our own things, and then like you and I, and we talk like once a year or some shit. But I think it's all about connection, and anything that serves disconnect is not. It's not sexual. It's not of the nature of sex. It's of a distortion of it, and also in being social. But sex is the main energy that we're dealing with, and so whenever I think inside myself and think that I'm different from other people, that's a disconnect. And that's the worst thing you can do, because it all comes back to connection. Yes, we have individual qualities, but we need to learn, and the value is in the relating to them. The value is in the choices that we make. And so discovering that for ourselves and having the different sexual urges and desire and trying to own it and not get in our heads with it has been, man, it's been a great journey. It's been awesome. And to find where that sexual play comes in and out is so different. And, I'm always in field. I'm always talking to people. I still exchange sexually. It's a big thing for me. I think a man needs to be in touch with his urge. I just hold on to that tension a little bit longer and then release it, with my woman. But and who knows where we'll be, down the road. But like I said, that's the rules that we came up with. That all being said, I totally get what you're saying. It's just such a cool thing of how the sexual ebb and flow happens. And when I was 18, actually I was far more insecure back then and really nervous about it. Didn't really get comfortable until I was 26. But even the urge within that changed. When I was 30, it changed to a difference. In my mid 30s, it evolved again. And so much more about, there were times where, man, I just love to bang. I just love to fucking dominate. And then the next day, I love to make love. And I think that we need to see that sex is this weird different language and this totally different expression that everybody needs to speak and learn. And if they don't, then and you buy into society's rules about sex or other people's rules about sex, you're not being an expression of yourself and serving that disconnect, and not serving the connection of you.